Welcome to another epic show.
We empower people and inspire change.
Hello, everybody. Here we are again with the epic show. And today, well, it's
Misha
Sam.
Gal.
It's Sam. It's not Misha.
Sam Adams.
Sam Adams. Our big friend, Sam Adams, who is like a kind of a producer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sam, for helping us out.
You're welcome.
You flew with the 44.
Yep.
But, you know, where's Misha?
He's sick.
He's always sick. He's sick. But you're sick.
You guys started the show without me.
You are sick. Oh,
Well,
you came back.
I'm sick,
Okay.
but I'm just trying to finish my lunch here.
Okay, this is the situation, guys.
Okay.
Misha has been sick for almost a month now. Is that true, Sam? It is true.
It's been
See?
pretty close to that.
So we thought they would be safe to bring Sam if you were.
He's a backup, right?
Okay, exactly, as a backup.
In case I started coughing too much or
Exactly.
just, I don't know, keeled over and died or something.
So what happened, Misha? You were sick for how
Well,
long now?
I'm super
You're still
embarrassed.
going to be sick next until next Christmas?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm a little embarrassed because I broke down over Christmas.
You did, huh?
My sister made these German cookies. And they were sitting there in front of me. We were playing games, and there's this big plate of cookies in front of me, and I'm like, I gotta have a cookie.
He couldn't
So
resist.
So I ate one, and then I was like, I gotta have another one. So I had another one. 2 days go by. I ate a bunch of cookies. Maybe,
Too many good.
well, maybe 6 or 7, 8. I don't know.
More than that.
9.
9.
Too many.
Too many.
Sure enough, a couple days later, I'm sick.
Here you go.
Unbelievable. And I'm still sick.
Here you
Well,
go.
I feel good.
He's
I
getting
don't
there.
sound good.
Yeah, he does.
You guys can see. I mean, I sound horrible.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there.
Mm.
Anyhow,
Plus
you
I'm
know,
eating that doesn't help either.
and this was something that interesting in our trip. We rarely ate sugar, right?
Rarely. Mm.
Because we knew we were
Except for
gonna
the
get
couple
sick.
times that Ruben had a little bit of chocolate cake.
That's right. The temptation was big, but we avoided it.
Where was the best chocolate cake, Ruben?
I think it was. I remember it. I think it was that Italian place in. I might be wrong, but I think it was in Malaysia.
Ooh.
Sabah.
Mm. Yeah.
Sabah, right? The Shangri-La.
I remember you were liking that. You loved that one.
Anyhow, here we are again, and the last episode we kind of finished up around Neva, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neva or Antipode.
Yep. First
And
antipode.
from that point on, we felt that we were kind of not going back home. It's still a long way to go, but that tip was done, right?
Yep.
So we inverted, no longer south, going north.
How did you feel when we left there, when we were headed north? What was the sort of general feeling for you?
I felt that we had achieved the landmark, and that the achievement gave us more strength of the next phase.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking of Greenland, you know.
I had.
You were thinking of something that time?
Yeah.
You were?
I was about to say that. I actually had quite a bit of fear.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, well, kind of this fear of the unknown, because there's this big section. Like, it's one thing to fly over continents that you're used to, right? North America, even Central America, South America, it's not that bad, right? It's not that different. But to hop over these crazy stretches of water and then go to a totally different continent, Greenland, Iceland, Faroe Islands, hopping over to Europe, there was this big unknown. What's the weather going to be like? What's the distances going to be like over water? So there was this fear of like, okay, now we're officially headed back up, like we're making our way to northern Canada and over to Greenland. Yeah, it was crazy.
And that's a very important point, that we were going to face, from that point on, we're going to face about 30% of our trip. I think it was more like 35% of the trip was water.
Mm-hmm.
And then, strangely, at the end, we felt comfortable. Mid-end, right?
Mm-hmm.
We felt really comfortable over the water. But our first stretch was from Aruba to Grenada. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we had to climb quite high because of the winds. Remember that? Look at the windy app.
We ended up being, I think,
8,000?
10,000.
We went
in the end.
10,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were trying to stay at 8, and then we decided to go to 10 because there was going to be a little better winds up there.
And then the trip, I remember that we looked at the right side and we thought, okay, there's Venezuela. We don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And we were actually in contact with ATC with Venezuela, I think. One of
Yeah,
those
we were.
little islands, remember?
That was very interesting, yeah.
And we were calculating all the time.
So just so
wind.
everybody knows, we didn't have any landing clearances to land in Venezuela, and it was extremely hostile at that time. So, well, it probably still is at this point. And so for us to go to Venezuela, there was actually a few islands pretty close to our route that could sort of be backup places if we were going to run out of fuel,
Yep.
but they were all controlled by Venezuela.
Yeah.
So for us to land there would have been extremely dangerous and potentially hostile.
That stretch from Aruba to Grenada, we
Yep.
were thinking that long time during our planning. Remember?
Yeah.
Always look at
That
the
was
wind.
from the first couple months. That
Mhm.
was one concern. As soon as we kind of had our general route planned,
Mhm.
that was one leg that we kept looking at and saying, okay, we got these trade winds. They're constantly headwinds.
More
we
than
watch-
20.
And we watched them, and we watched them for months
Mhm.
just to see, like, is this a isolated thing where a few weeks or whatever it's going to be headwinds? And it was just constant trade winds,
Mhm.
always headwinds. Yeah,
It was like 390 miles.
yeah,
And we had a total range of 5:15, so 5 hours and 15 minutes.
yep.
So with the wind, it could become very critical. So as you said,
Mhm.
we were looking at alternatives. Ultimately, last resort will be to land in Venezuela airspace.
Yeah.
Anyhow, just a little bit before that, we cleared customs in Colombia. Remember that?
That was an interesting experience because it was very military,
Uh-huh.
and it was.
It's like a movie style.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say they were hostile,
No.
but they definitely weren't friendly.
No.
That's where they brought the dogs up.
Yes.
They searched. That was the second time they searched our helicopter with dogs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they searched the whole helicopter with dogs.
I wasn't there.
They-
I was with a handler.
Oh, you were still with the handler at that
Exactly.
point. Oh, that's right.
Very stressed. because
Yeah.
We had
That's right.
time constraints.
Yeah, exactly. And
But what happened? I wasn't there. What happened with the?
No, so they just wanted us to take everything out of the helicopter. There was no messing around. Like, remember when we got to Mexico and we were super nice and
Mhm.
they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, bring your bags out." Okay, that we opened the bag and it was fine. Well, this was like every bag open, everything they're going to go through, and they searched through absolutely everything. They wanted to look at every possible compartment in the helicopter, make sure that there was no hidden compartments anywhere. They were trying to remove seats that wouldn't remove.
Yeah.
Like it was interesting. So they did a very thorough search of the helicopter
Mhm.
with their dog as well.
Yeah.
And
we
then
were
you came
stressed
back.
because we wanted to leave before sunset. Obviously,
Yes.
before sunset arriving, right?
Yes, yeah.
And we were very stressed because the handler said that we hadn't paid the fees yet, and we had already paid, and they come up with new fees, and there's more invoices to pay, and
Yeah.
I was going back and forth. It was a really stressful moment.
Yeah.
But we were able to get out of there. Colombia was nice. I really like Colombia. So
Yep.
closing the chapter, Colombia, it's a country I want to go back to.
Yeah.
I really recommend.
great. Yeah. And that was
Beautiful.
that was
nice
probably
people.
the lowest spot on the whole Colombia trip
Mhm.
was just that
Exactly.
that exiting of the country
The rest was great.
at that airport. The rest was fantastic. Yeah.
And the whole Caribbean. What are your thoughts about Caribbean?
The Caribbean was very windy.
Yeah, it was windy.
It was windy. It was
Yeah.
beautiful though.
Uh-huh.
It was interesting because you could see how little of it was populated
Mhm.
and how much sort of there's just so many little desolate islands that have nothing on them and stuff that we looked at and were like, man, it's so beautiful to just land.
Right.
Like if we had authorization, man, we would just landing on all these private beaches that nobody could access by anything except for by boat
Yeah.
or something. And that was really nice. I liked it.
You talk about landing. Now, 6 months after this trip, it's gone more than 6 months, I think,
Yeah.
right now.
Yep.
We have talked about this, that it was really nice to aim for a record.
Yep.
But at the same time, we lost a little bit of that living experience of every single place, right?
Yeah.
Because we were always pushing on, go, go, go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we didn't have much time just to enjoy the view,
No.
enjoy that spot there, that one.
I think what would be fun is in the future to do sections of that trip again
hmm
and to take your time and do it in over a couple of months or something like that
Right.
and just do a smaller section.
Dedicate time. It's like traveling.
Yeah.
I like to travel and I like to see a lot of different things, different countries.
Yeah.
I'm almost like 100 countries.
Yeah.
But now I'm focusing on going back to the ones that I want to explore and take time.
Exactly.
It's like initial exploration and then go deeper.
Yeah.
I remember that going through the Caribbean, there's a technical item here I want to mention is
Yeah.
that since the wind was always coming from the east side,
Mhm.
remember that we didn't go on the east side of the islands
Yep.
because of the route was better and more straight and direct on the west side.
Yep.
We got all that
That
you call
churn
it?
and turbulence. Yeah.
turbulence, right?
Yep. All the eddies and everything coming off
Yeah.
the backside
Frequent.
of the
Anytime we went back the island, it was like bumpy. So I
Yeah.
remember Caribbean being bumpy.
It's very bumpy. Yeah. But as soon as we got over the water, again, that kind of solidified our love for being over the water. As soon as we got away from land, everything calmed down.
Smooth.
You know, it was crosswinds or whatever, but it was smooth. Smooth.
We start
winds and
loving
stuff.
water there,
Yeah, we did.
right?
Yeah, and because you saw lots of wildlife too, right? So there was lots of dolphins and turtles and all kinds of things in the water. So that was fun too.
And the weather was generally good until
Yes.
the end part of the Caribbean. We got started to get some
Yeah. So this,
tough parts.
I've told a few people this lately because they were asking about the trip, just randomly, new students that we have and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, how was the trip and stuff? And how's the weather? And I said, you know what? The weather kind of picked us up in Cuba. And then we followed it around the entire globe.
Just like,
And
got
then we
stuck.
left it on the last day in Alaska and flew home in the sunshine. Like, it was unbelievable. But literally, we just battled it day after day after day.
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, places that should have had beautiful weather. We battled bad weather. It was horrible.
Even in Europe.
Yes.
France was
Yeah,
horrible.
France.
We'll get there, but
yeah,
it's
I mean,
horrible.
the
It's
UK
horrible.
is typically a bit rainy and
Yeah.
stuff, but I mean, we're in summertime, and it's just horrible weather. In France, in Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal was supposed to be warm and
Yeah,
sunny. It ended up being cold and rainy.
Yes.
I was like, what is
And
going
foggy.
on?
Yeah.
We're in Portugal.
Arrival. So
Yeah.
we did Martinica.
Yes.
Martinica. Did you like the island?
I thought it was too westernized.
It was French.
It was, yeah, but no, I shouldn't say westernized. It was too populated and too like a regular city. I mean, very established, big highways.
True.
And, you know, whatever. but
Developed.
it was very developed. Yeah.
It's French territory, I think.
Yeah. But it's I like the places that were a little bit more remote and a little bit more basic. Those were
Then
nice.
St. Kitts.
Yeah. St.
What about
Kitts.
St. Kitts? What are your thoughts?
It was kind of cheap feeling.
Yeah.
Did you remember that? You went and
I'm
got
sorry,
that
I don't want to
haircut.
offend anybody.
No,
But it's just
But
very honest and transparent.
Yeah.
Our thoughts, right?
Yeah.
It looked a little bit cheap. Just a little bit cheap.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you went and got a haircut.
I got a haircut.
And I didn't go on that, but you said that was quite the experience in town there. The people were great though.
Yeah.
We had a
Everybody
really
was
good
nice.
experience with all the people there.
Yeah.
The
There's
island,
nothing, the
the island was
shopping-
beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The beaches.
Yep.
That we overflowed,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But then the downtown of the little place
Yep.
there,
Yeah.
it didn't have anything, right?
No.
It's kind of cheap, but
Yeah.
okay, right?
Anyways,
And then we headed to
Jamaica was nice.
but
we made
before
our
that
way-
Puerto Rico.
Yes, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Did you like Puerto Rico?
I loved it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico was really nice.
You told me you wanted
I'd
to go back.
I'd go back there for sure. There's some islands, or so not some islands, some beaches there that didn't look like they were inhabited at all. Like, I don't know why there wasn't resorts there.
Aren't you confusing
looked-
with Dominicana?
You
You remember that place?
Oh, Dominican Republic. Yes.
Ah, okay.
I'm thinking of Dominicana.
All right,
yes.
right.
Sorry.
So
Dominicana attached to Haiti.
exactly.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
we saw like
Dominican
a nice,
Republic was nice.
No, Puerto.
Puerto Rico
Rico
was
was
nice. Yep.
America.
Yep.
Good.
American.
It felt
Yep.
good, like coming back to the U.S.
Yeah, it did.
We
That was
tested
the first
visa.
time that you tested your
I
visa,
tested my
and
visa.
it worked
did
out
work,
perfectly.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Good thing we had it.
Yep.
And then in Dominicana, remember that we saw that really nice house. Okay, these experiences come to my mind again.
Up on the hill there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go check it out. Who has a house here, right? It's like a mansion.
Because there's these big gates, and it looked like a big mansion.
Middle
And it was
nowhere.
abandoned.
It was abandoned.
It was completely abandoned. It looked like it was 95% complete,
yeah.
and then just abandoned there. The pool was empty. Everything was empty.
It
And
was
it was
massive.
It was huge, and this incredible like road that goes up, like a driveway that goes up to the mansion on the hill and overlooking a beautiful beach. And wow,
That was the place that you
Amazing.
said, I want to bring Amy here.
yeah.
Let's explore some beaches here.
Yep, I
right?
think that would be really
Had the same
nice.
feeling.
Yep.
Dominicana was good.
Yep.
The Haiti, we didn't stop in Haiti,
Didn't stop.
but some beaches at the end, the tip,
Yes.
before crossing to Jamaica.
last-
You saw
That
remember
last
that?
hop, yeah.
Oh man,
Oh, they were nice.
beautiful
Yeah.
turquoise and
Yeah.
blue water, green water,
Yeah, that
We
was
loved it.
super nice. Yeah.
Yeah. and then we arrived in Jamaica. What about Jamaica?
Jamaica was great. We spent a weekend there,
Mhm.
and it was relaxing. We stayed at the Jamaican Inn.
Yes,
And I was a little
very
bit,
nice.
I was a
gotta
little
endorse it.
disappointed when we drove up because
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, to me it felt like a motel. When you first drove up and you kind of saw
Mm-hmm.
the rooms and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be interesting. But then you drive in and then you see like how
It's
elaborate it
colonial,
is, and
right?
it's super colonial and it's super historic, right?
Mhm.
And then you look through the gateway to the backyard
Beautiful
with the beach there, and I was like, whoa, this place is amazing.
It's amazing.
And the owner came. He
Yes.
right away heard, oh, you guys are helicopter pilots, and
He
you know,
knew
he's,
it.
he's an airplane pilot,
Exactly.
and so he was right away excited, and he sponsored our stay there, which was fantastic.
So grateful. Thank you,
And,
Jamaica Inn again.
Yeah, that was really awesome. And our stay there was just so peaceful. I kept
It was.
we FaceTimed our wives and
Yes.
stuff, and I was like, Amy, I got to take you back here. Like, this is a
Had a private beach.
great-
That
yeah.
Jamaica Inn has a private beach.
yeah,
Super clean.
nice beach, nice ocean. I
And,
did some paddle boarding.
It's so cozy.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt really nice.
We had some nice dining there. Remember?
Yes, that was very nice.
Kept on going
Very-
dining.
Yeah, very very
Formal.
colonial, very formal.
Colonial.
The colonial
Nice.
dress and everything. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah,
After the weekend.
interesting food.
Interesting food.
Because it's Jamaica, right? So
I did
they-
like it. You didn't like it?
No, it was tasty. I'm just saying it's
Okay.
interesting because it was different, right? Which
Mhm.
is good.
Then we headed to Cayman Islands.
Then we headed to Cayman. That was a fuel stop. And
Yeah.
that was it. We didn't stay there.
We got some really, I don't say bad weather, but a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Remember?
yeah.
Showers
And
a lot of showers. Just
Yeah.
before coming into Cayman,
Yep.
we got an opening. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it was open. We landed,
Yeah.
refueled, and went to
Left. Because that was
Cuba.
it was windy there, and then it was like, okay, we got to get fuel, we got to get going, and then get to Cuba, and that was interesting. I think we'll end this podcast just kind of getting to Cuba,
Mhm.
but that was the first time.
Or we can extend to Key West. Let's just talk about Cuba
Sure. Okay, sounds good.
for
So
3 or 4 minutes.
the first time that we experienced, I wouldn't say hostile ATC, but but it was interesting because you're going to a very closed country
Uh-huh.
and very restrictive. And so their altitude restrictions were very serious. They said,
Mhm.
no, you can't file a flight plan. It has to be an IFR flight plan.
IFR.
We were a VFR aircraft, so we had to file an IFR flight plan, which
It's just a game.
it was a
right?
game, really.
Just a game. You
And
were told
then-
it was going to be
Yeah,
that
we
way.
were told that. And then we couldn't file below 8,000 feet, so we
Mhm.
had to accept 8,000 feet. And then we're flying, and we realized immediately that
Weather
there's
all
all these
over.
storms, like thunderstorms, and there's no way on earth we can get 8,000. And initially, we found some breaks, and we were able to get up high enough. I don't think we got as high as 8, do we?
No, 5 probably.
Maybe 5 or
Max.
something. We called him up, and we told
They
him.
pushed us
Yeah,
first.
we told him, we're
Climb,
coming
climb,
in, and he said, okay, I need you to 8,000 feet, and we're like, okay, well, we're gonna try, and we did our best to get as high as we could. And then we kept requesting lower, and he said, no, denied.
Mhm.
And eventually it got to a point where there's this wall in front of us, and either we fly into a thunderstorm or we go under it.
Below
And
1,000 feet.
Below 1,000 feet, yeah. And you were talking in Spanish
Yes.
with him.
I switched to Spanish. that
Yes,
way, yeah.
exactly, because you knew that you could communicate better with
Yes.
him in Spanish, because his English was limited.
That's the
And-
detail. Just
yes.
ending with that part.
Yes.
Like when you talk the local language,
Yep.
and whenever we had that possibility in countries that we could talk a little bit of that local language,
Yep.
it made a huge difference.
Yeah,
Right?
it was amazing.
Because then people can relate to you a different way.
Yep.
And you can negotiate in more a reasonable way, not so formal way, right?
Exactly.
Let's talk this over a little bit.
Exactly.
And I talked with him and I said, listen, we can't do this.
Yeah.
There's no way we can keep this altitude. We got to go low.
Yeah.
And he said, listen, we're not responsible,
Yeah.
right? I said, is this a matter of being responsible? So you
You-
want to tell me that you're
you
not
tried to-
responsible? I
you-
want to be responsible?
Exactly. You
I'm fine
tried
with
to
that.
clarify with him. You said, is it a danger to us
Mhm.
if we do this? Like what you were trying to find out is, would they shoot us down, or like would they come
Right.
come get us or something like that if we disobeyed what they were saying,
Mhm.
right? And or not let us into the country or something like that. And then through the communication, you figured out that he was saying,
said,
listen,
"No,
if
that's
you
not
go
the
below
case."
that, I can't take responsibility for you. I don't know how low you're going to go. I don't know if you're going to fly into the ocean.
And you have
I
visibility.
take no responsibility. And so he made it very clear. Didn't he use the words, I'm not
Crash.
responsible if you crash.
Yes. That was the
Crash
only
or die.
place-
One of the two he used. I forget which one
I
it
would
was
never
now.
imagine, ATC
But-
telling you this. Right?
Yes, ATC
If you
said that.
crash,
Yes.
I'm not responsible.
I'm not
That's what he said.
responsible.
Anyhow,
That was crazy. Yeah.
it was a different experience in Cuba all along,
Yeah.
and we can,
Cuba was fantastic, though.
it was really, really
Our
nice
stay there
place.
in Havana was really neat. Yeah.
We went around downtown. They had very sadly the crash. of
Yes,
that
the airplane, the 737.
So it
Yeah.
wasn't that lively.
No,
they had a
They had
band.
a very respective sort of band
Yeah,
for that,
exactly.
and so there was no
No
music,
music.
or anything like that
Mhm.
going on in their courtyards. And
It
stuff
wasn't the
in city.
perfect moment for you to
No.
visit Cuba because
No.
Cuba is so lively and so
Yeah,
much music with,
Yeah.
with it. But
but it was fun.
the Cuban experience was amazing.
Yeah.
So next time we'll continue in the U.S.
Yep.
Right here we are in BC, somewhere again.
Yep.
Wonderful BC.
Yeah.
We have a helicopter back there, and
amazing, yeah.
Sam just flew in with the 44.
Yeah.
We had lunch here. Had a great time.
This is the
And from
way.
this,
This is the way it's supposed to be.
This podcast.
Yeah.
So great.
Hope you guys enjoyed this one. We're gonna talk to you on the next video, on the next podcast. Talk to you then.
See you next.
Bye.
Bye bye.